What's going on, guys? How are you, meatballs? This is going to be the best Reckoning trailer breakdown you can find on YouTube. We got the coffee, that's why! I'm red from screaming. I already recorded it. Lots of great stuff, I promise you. Don't worry about the link to the video. Everything is fully explained. Everything you'll see, everything broken down. As far as the gameplay goes, I'm on too much coffee. Let's go. Starting this up, let's put this in full resolution. You're going to notice that there's not much crazy at about the very beginning. You're just going to notice that, hey, we're in a spawn room right here. So, or not in a spawn room. We're just in the map. This is a cool looking area in general. And then bang, there's the spawn room. How could I tell? There's the rampage inducer. In every map ever existing with a rampage inducer, it's been in the spawn room. So there you go. First shot right here we can tell is a definitive area for the spawn room. Next, moving forward, we get a look at the sheer verticality of the map. We see an ammo crate right there as well. We can even see that there's an opening in the floor that goes from a very high space up all the way down below. And this is actually the Dark Ether area that we saw in one of the teaser trailers. The Dark Ether infestation going on. Now, focusing on the shot right here, as you can see, we have Melee Macchiato as a perk and even the Dark Ether kind of turret trap right here as well. And if you take a look, it looks like the seeds from Shattered Veil are actually even in this map. Whether or not we're going to be able to bust them open, we don't know, but it seems like the seeds are actually, or the plants are going to be coming back as well that produce the seeds that gave us the Ray Gun Mark II in Shattered Veil. And if we take a look at the wonder weapon from the map in just a second, it makes you think, could that be part of an upgrade? But yeah, if we move forward now through this again, we get another look at the turret trap. It's going to be really cool above some of the doorways, and as you can see, it just blasts the zombies. Pretty damn sick. And in that area right there, we actually saw another preview or another shot of the Melee Macchiato perk machine. So if any of you guys were interested in that, as you can see, this thing blast, and you'll be able to see the Melee Macchiato perk machine right there. I don't honestly know why it's a perk on the map. I'm a little disappointed by that because I never buy it, but it is, I guess, useful in some instances. So as you can see here, we're just running through, and bang, he goes through this teleporter looking thing. And what this actually is not a teleporter. We all thought that this was a teleporter. In fact, it's not. It's a blaster. It's a cannon-like thing. We saw this mechanic in Citadel Timor with the actual cannon that we had to rotate and we can blast ourselves off to different areas of the map. Well, on this map, it's something similar, but they're all over the map, and we can blast ourselves from tower to tower using this. Look how cool it is. You run through it, and just like the Wonder Sphere from Der Eisendrache, where you would go in it and you'd interact and it would just shoot you off, it's kind of like that, but instead of going vertically, it shoots you horizontally straight across. So as you can see, you just boom right through the other side, and you can even slide when you get through, which is cool. So if you have PhD and there's a horde of zombies there or something, you're good to go. Now, that brings us to this area of the map. This shot, very clearly, you can see the stamina perk right here. And if we continue to move, this is actually the Forsaken from the map, Forsaken in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. So that's really cool. That'll play into some of the story. It may even play into some of the gameplay. Coffee break, I'm dying of thirst. By the way, subscribe if you're brand new, because we're gonna make this map amazing for this channel. You want to be a part of it. Elite guides, everything you need, lots of fun. Yeah. And on top of seeing the Forsaken in this area, which is really cool in itself, and then seeing the stamina perk, which was to be expected, we also see this is just probably a zombie spawn barrier right here, but it could possibly even be even more play area over there. And on top of that, a general wide open training area. It's kind of sick. I honestly think that this map is going to be the easiest map in all of the game to get to a very high round on if you're more so a casual player. Now, let's move forward. This area is now used to give us a preview of the Mr. Peaks field upgrade, which I think nobody expected. As you can see, he acts as some kind of monkey bomb or something like that, and the zombies seem to be running directly at him, and then all of a sudden, bang, he attacks them, destroys them. Really sick. That again then brings us to our wonder weapon, which I discussed earlier. And if you look at this wonder weapon, now going back to what I said about the seeds from earlier, or the plants from earlier that gave us the seeds in Shattered Veil, right? It's entirely possible that the wonder weapon will utilize or be built off of something to do with those plants at some point, maybe for an upgrade. I mean, we already did it in the past, and if we take a look at this wonder weapon, it quite literally looks like it's a plant wonder weapon in a sense, right? So you never know. And there's so much more that I'm about to show you that looks really sick, and we have seen in the blog posts and the teaser trailers and stuff like that, but there is even more than that. But as far as this shot goes, you've already seen it. You shoot it and it explodes. the base. I'm not sure if this one is the base, if this is one of the variants. This is the only one we've seen in all of the teasers and the actual trailer, which is a little peculiar. It makes me believe that it is the ultimate version. They could potentially have a base version like Dead of the Night with Alistair's Folly. Then you had the next version, and then you had the final version after that. Possible to be that. I don't think that's the way they're going to go with this. I think there's just going to be 3 total variants, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, but now we get a preview of another area where Jug can be seen, as you can see right here, and we have this logo right here. Up here is actually just a field upgrade being activated. That's Energy Mine. And one thing you're going to notice about this area is that there's stairs and there's railways, railings, this and that. And then all of a sudden, our players start using Omni movement, and there's Jug. She jumped right next to Jug, and bang, she is parachuting down. So not only, again, could you push yourself across from tower to tower, but within each tower, you can knock yourself down using parachute. You're going to see she deploys a parachute to land, which is so damn cool. Now, I am a little curious to know how we're actually going to traverse upward. We've seen the horizontal, we've seen vertical in terms of going down, but we haven't seen vertical in terms of going up. It would be very disingenuous to all of the transportation methods on this map, or it would be disingenuous to the map to not allow us to teleport or phase up vertically. I feel like that could hurt the map a little bit, but at the same time, it makes a little sense, you know? As long as everything is laid out well, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but that's just something I kind of noticed about this. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I'm going brain dead right now, but yeah. Now, looking forward to this section right here, you're going to see there's a bunch of cryogenic pods, kind of, or whatever you call these, where there's people just floating in liquid. But if you take a closer look, this is actually the disciple from Shattered Vale, and in here, this is the toxic zombie from Shattered Vale. So there's experimentations going on, not only on zombies that we've seen, like we've seen in Terminus, I should say, right? Zombies used to pop out of these tubes. There were some Easter eggs with the tubes. But in fact, in this map, we actually have some boss enemies within the tube. So maybe there's going to be some more side Easter eggs like that in this map. We also see an arrow pointing towards the power switch, which very obvious what that's going to be. I mean, in this map, it's just more so Pack-a-Punch that arrow's for, when you really think about it. I think I'm pretty sure we only had power in D Machina out of all the brand new zombies maps in this Dark Aether story, now that I'm thinking about it. So that arrow is pretty much pointing us towards Pack-a-Punch, and you'll see here very obviously that it is. But another thing I want to note about this area is that up here, there seems to be possibly 2 fuses missing. Again, this is just some kind of thing that I want to notice as somebody who hunts the Easter eggs. Potentially going to be something in the future. We'll have to wait and see, but interesting, right? And again, we can just go forward, and there's nothing different about this shot other than the fact that we have those kind of pods with the bosses in them. And then that area then phases into this area, and I gotta say, I really do love the flow of this trailer. It pretty much is flowing from tower, verticality from tower to tower, horizontally to another tower, to another area within the same tower with Omni movement. Really sick flow in this map with this trailer. And I think what they're trying to emphasize with the kind of movement and flow of the trailer is that, yes, and this is something that I was very concerned about with this map, and I still am, we'll see, but I'm feeling a lot better about it now. How is the mobility gonna be? How is the practical feel gonna be when you have 3 different towers? Is it gonna be tight? First off, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be tight. Is everything gonna flow well? You're gonna be able to get from tower to tower easily? The teleporter is gonna be good? It seems like all those issues have been flushed out. But yeah, moving forward, as you can see, we're making our way into the Pack-a-Punch area where there are tons and tons of computers and a main kind of cryogenic pod thing. I don't know exactly what you would call this, but I'm calling them cryogenic chambers. I'm pretty sure cryogenic chambers is when you're actually on ice, but either way, you get the general idea of what's going on here, and allegedly that is a kind of replica of Richtofen's wife. So that'll be some kind of story stuff, but that's why they kind of emphasize that real quick. I don't know what's up with that zombie's face right there. It looks like a brick, but this now brings us to the Pack-a-Punch area. As you can see, the Pack-a-Punch machine is right here, and possibly even collecting souls of some sort. What we do know about this map is that it's not going to be as simple as, okay, you go find the Pack-a-Punch machine and then you Pack-a-Punch it. There are going to be steps to get to Pack-a-Punch in this map. And also, what was that right there? It looked like there was some kind of dial thing, but I think that was just the way it looked. But either way, this is the Pack-a-Punch area. The Pack-a-Punch isn't formulated. We're gonna have to do something to activate it. And as you can see in this area right here, we have 0 gravity. And in the trailer, she actually even says low gravity is being initiated. So really cool. Another thing in the background, we have a little bit of a teleporter thing possibly here. Not sure if this is an actual teleporter or if it's one of the shooting things. I think since it's downstairs in a more secluded area, it's gonna probably be a teleporter. And it's, I believe, the only one I've seen on any of the maps. So maybe this this will teleport us from the bottom to the top in some way, and then if you want to come down, you can just jump. But keep that in mind. And again, there is zero gravity here, and you're going to see the players using Omni movement. You also saw that laser right there as well that we saw in one of the teaser trailers. And now we have the Uber KLAUS. And look at this Omni movement. It is just, I love the fact that they are taking full advantage of the Black Ops 6 Zombies mechanics in this map. As you can see, Omni movement looks just so sick with this. And when you shoot, moving back to the Uber KLAUS, when you shoot the Uber KLAUS, KLAUS jumps out of him and it reveals the Commando KLAUS robots. Now, really quickly, there were a couple of things that I did miss here that I wanted to point out. Another thing you notice about this shot is that, hey, this is the Pack-a-Punch camo for the map, and it looks really cool. It's actually on the FFAR right there. And in the background right here, you can see our tier 3 armor wall buy. So at least one of, if it's not the only one, tier 3 armor wall buys will be in the Pack-a-Punch area of the map. And another thing to notice about the Uber KLAUS is that when you shoot him, it seems to shoot out some kind of energy mine type of attack, some kind of shockwave. So this isn't going to be a melee only type of mech, as a lot of people are speculating. At first, we just all thought this would be another Panzer variant, which you can't blame us for, but it seems like this is going to be its own unique boss. It's called the Uber KLAUS. It looks sick, and it has a unique attack, and I think as it takes damage, it deals those attacks. And when you initially damage it, or finally damage it too much, it turns into a Commando KLAUS, kind of like the Megaton from D Machina. It converts into the Megaton bombers. It seems like this is going to convert into the Commando KLAUS, and this then transitions into giving us a look at the final shot of the trailer, which is the Commando KLAUS robots red as the max ammo rounds. And something you're going to notice is that they're coming out of one of these teleporters, so there actually is a second one, since this is in a different area of the map. And my assumption would be that if you go through that area, just based off the way the trailer flows and moves and stuff like that, if you go through that red teleporter we saw in that Pack-a-Punch area, it'll bring you here, and they're culminating everything together to show us the Commando KLAUS max ammo round. Really awesome. Fear the Reckoning. We get another shot, another preview of everything going on here. There's Pack-a-Punch once again just floating around. It actually looks like it may be completed right there, but this map looks absolutely sick. I said we needed to go out with a bang in Black Ops 6 Zombies. I am so happy that the days of the tomb are gone. This map is going to absolutely blow a map like the Tomb out of the water, and I pray that it blows a map like Shattered Veil out of the water, because I love Shattered Veil, and if it was to blow Shattered Veil out of the water, dude, that would be absolutely insane. But the point of this video really wasn't to give you much of my opinion. As you can tell, it was completely breaking down the trailer, everything you have to know as quickly as possible for the most part. So take care of your meatballs, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, Frankie Beans is gonna get you, and take care of your meatballs.